All right, so let's talk about the biggest shit that went down in the AEW recap, and I'm talking about we had a fucking beautiful ass
Hot off the heels of the post.
WrestleMania.
Yeah, let's just yeah. Yeah,
This shit
but
was
anyway,
fire. This shit was fire.
what
I,
WrestleMania?
no. AEW Dynamite was
Oh, I was gonna
fire.
say no. Fuck. I was
Was
gonna say
fire.
yeah.
And
AEW.
Rampage
Fire.
too.
Yeah.
Oh yes, and Rampage. We had Captain Shawn Dean versus Shawn Spears. We had the brand new Samoa Joe versus Max Caster. We had the Butcher and the Blade versus the Hart. We had Christian Cage versus Adam Cole, and we had Hikaru Shida versus Julia Hart. What a card! What a fucking card, ladies and gentlemen. Mm.
Can I can I just say, man, I love seeing Samoa Joe back in here. Honestly, it's
Oh, me too.
just
Oh yeah.
Me too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He was great. He was great. Phenomenal. Phenomenal.
it's like
Um,
he's right where he belongs.
yeah,
Actually, I'm just
yes.
like, God damn, this is
He had a,
great.
he had a huge fucking pop, a huge pop, and then of course, like Javelin said, we had Rampage, which was Jon Moxley versus Wheeler Yuta, Brian Danielson versus Trent Beretta, Swerve Strickland versus QT Marshall, and Willow Nightingale versus Red Velvet, which I believe, arguably, was fire, super fire. Willow Nightingale is loved by so many people on Twitter, and they love her so much, but with that being said, we're going to talk about the match that I believe is a match of the week, and that's
Right.
Jon Moxley versus Wheeler Yuta. Now, we didn't see it live because we went to go see Sonic Hedgehog 2, which we'll get into that much later in the podcast. But
Wheeler Yuta's really impressed me, honestly. I mean, he went from okay. I always knew he was he was a good wrestler, like even a decent wrestler. But seeing these matches with him trying to get his way into this what is it, the Combat Club or the Blackpool Combat Club? Shout
yeah,
outs to William Regal because he's
yeah,
from Blackpool, Blackpool, England. For
yeah.
we know we have some UK viewers out there or sorry, listeners. And I'm just like, man, I'm glad he's getting this push. Actually, it shows that
Mm-hmm.
like they're trying to do something with his character, and I think this is gonna add a new. I mean, him under the tutelage under like these three veterans. Actually,
Yeah,
it's gonna add some new. It's gonna add some new skill to him to his character. Actually,
yeah.
do they wrestle for real or it's staged? Well, that was a question from one of our listeners, Miss Jassy Java. Hello, beautiful. How you doing? Uh, it depends.
You know
It
this
depends.
viewer, correct?
Yes, I
Okay,
know
thank
the
God,
viewer.
because for those of you listening on the podcast and y'all hear Spike saying "good, hello, beautiful," I want you to know he does know this person. I
I
want
do
to put
know.
it out there. I want to put it out
I do know. I socialize a lot online.
there. I hope so. I hope so. You know how Spike is. That boy likes to talk.
That is true.
He likes to talk. Okay, but continue. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I tell everyone throw me under the bus actually this week.
Yeah, you be throwing yourself under the bus.
Jesse Java said,
Get
"I'm
you.
dying." I had to make sure, Jesse. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Our boy Spike. He's very promiscuous. You know
What?
what I'm saying? He's very promiscuous. So we got to be careful with him. He
Wait a
does a
minute.
lot of
You're
things.
one to talk.
First of
You
all,
are really
I'm
one
a
to talk.
saint. I'm a saint. Unlike our
That
boy
is a
Jon
lie.
Moxley, who is not a saint and gave our boy Wheeler Yuta double DDTs in the match, and my boy was bleeding.
They are the paradigm shift. Get it
You're
right.
right. You're right. A paradigm shift, and our boy kicked out twice, and he was a Crimson Mask, and
Man, the Crimson
he's
Mask.
a Crimson Mask. The match, delicioso. All I gotta say is that's a 5-star match right there. Wheeler Yuta became a star on
He did.
Rampage. I was blown away, blown away. Hopefully this video works because I was able to get it without. No, it's not gonna work. Never mind. It won't work. Never mind. So yeah, it was phenomenal, phenomenal that match. What did you guys think about it though?
I'm gonna put this on my list as one of the best matches of
Actually, that's a good question.
2022.
Javelin, are you doing another list again?
It's too late.
Damn.
I'm too far gone to keep up. I said, you know what,
Damn.
man? The list.
Damn.
I said.
I was hoping for the list to come back.
Much. I was like, there's so much. Like, and plus there's other stuff I was doing a lot. It was hard to keep track of that, but yeah, it was that match. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. I mean, that's all I got to say. When you wear that crimson mask, usually it's like, honestly, throughout the duration of like wrestling history, the crimson mask fucking usually create, like you said, it creates stars. It's usually like your breakout moment. It's like just like how it was for Dr. Britt Baker, her crimson mask with Thunder Rosa. That really was her, breakout moment. So this was definitely Wheeler Yuta's. I mean, he had a fantastic match with Bryan Danielson earlier but that Moxley match, oh fucking hell, man. And it's so funny because look, long-term booking, bro. Think about Tony Khan. Do you remember a couple of months back, before Jon Moxley went to his rehab thing, and he was still kind of jack buff, he was on a mean streak, going out and terrorizing people. He went up against Wheeler Yuta, and he crushed Wheeler Yuta. People was nowhere behind Wheeler Yuta. People were just like, whatever. Wheeler Yuta was nothing. The second time they faced, Wheeler Yuta had a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. Still got his ass beat by Moxley. And this time, the fans are chanting his name. Long-term booking, baby.
I agree. I totally forgot about that. I forgot that Moxley, when he came back, came out and literally paradigm shifted his ass and pinned him 1, 2, 3. I forgot about
Wheeler's
that.
gotten such a huge push. Now he's the champ of, what is the Ring of Honor title called?
Pure Ring of Honor championship.
Yeah, pure wrestling champ.
He's a pure wrestler.
And I wanted to actually come back to the question that was asked, actually, if wrestling is staged or real.
We all know it's a mixture of both.
It's a mix. Yeah, it is a mixture of both, because you see these guys always put their life on the line, if not their bodies on the line when they're in that.
It is their life too.
Yeah, it's their life too. We've known there's been some unfortunate incidents in the ring where wrestlers have lost their lives. But yeah, it depends. Again, when you go and watch these fights, it can get real.
I think it was right also for Wheeler to lose to Moxley, but
yeah,
in the way that it did, like Moxley had to work the hardest. Like this was definitely like championship match. Like this was something else.
Yeah, and I'm so glad at the end they shook hands and he is officially part of the BCC. I want to say one thing.
And he wrote it in blood on his chest too. Like, think about that shit.
If I'm Wheeler Yuta, I would go to Tony Khan right now and say, hey, make me a shirt, a plain white shirt that is in blood, BCC. That shit would be selling like hotcakes.
I will buy that shirt.
That shit would be selling
and burn
like
the Cody Rhodes shirts. I mean, I would buy that shirt.
We don't talk about that. We don't talk about
fuck out of here with that shit, man.
Yeah, we don't talk about that here. I don't like him. Anyways, but again, that was an incredible match, and to me, arguably the best match on Rampage. But we also had an incredible match between FTR versus Young Buck, which by far FTR is on fire, winning their matches.
Can we just say those are? I'm going to take quote from JR. Actually,
I got to say this.
Javelin, before you get to that, I just want to say these two teams these two tag teams are by far, as of this generation, the best tag teams.
Okay, again, I have to say something about that.
Go ahead.
FTR is incredible.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Yeah,
but even though they beat the Young Bucks, they're not better than the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks.
Oh wow, that's a hot take. That's a hot take.
Let me tell you why.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
Don't get me wrong. I'm listening. I love the FTR. I remember, I forgot what they were called back when they were in WWE. They were
the Revival.
The Revival. People hated them. No one cared about the Revival.
Yeah.
Of course, they redefined themselves and they cemented themselves as one of the greatest.
Yeah.
We could say the same thing about the Lucha Bros. But if you remember, after the Lucha Bros were tag team champions, they were having decent, good matches, not bangers. Everyone that has bangers is always against who as a tag team? The Young Bucks.
I agree. I agree.
Everyone. The
You're right.
Jurassic Express. I mean, what outstanding match really has the Jurassic Express had since going up against the Young Bucks? Even though they beat the Lucha Bros, which was a fantastic match, but of epic proportions.
There's only of epic proportions, right? Like,
You're right.
I mean, because they did go up against FTR, and it was a good match.
The Young Bucks always places always they're at such a god tier level. It's like you have to meet us here in order to be considered that.
So
it's like they can't transcend the Young Bucks. They meet the Young Bucks, but they can't get past them. Even though, of course, they beat them. But
so you're saying the Young Bucks are on God level?
They are God level. But overall, I still love FTR. Don't get me wrong. I loved them even when they were heel, even when they were fucking, with the what do you call it? The pillar. Well, it looks like the pillar is about to become extinct. It's crumbling down. But
yeah, I agree. And our
taking
boy
nothing
Pass
from the FTR.
No, taking nothing away from FTR, but our boy Pat says I was surprised when Bucks lost, but good match overall. I agree with Pat 100%. It was a phenomenal match.
So with them losing, do you think this is the FTR's time? Well, I wouldn't say it's their time again to go for the titles. I mean, they've been in the spotlight tons of times, actually.
I don't know if we want to turn them into the belt collectors, like Eddie was,
and that's
because they already look. They got the AAA tag team championships, and they got
a lot. They got
the Ring of Honor tag champs as well.
The AEW tag team champ.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
But if they want to book it, as long as the booking is good, I'm not really going to complain about it.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Big facts. I'm not going to bitch about that if it's done correctly. I think what we've all learned, the proper booking and the proper storytelling is very key, not only to a very good match, actually. So that's
for sure.
I agree. So that was AEW Dynamite, and then again, we already talked about AEW Rampage, but we also have to talk about one of the biggest matches happening next week on AEW Rampage, and that is the Hangman Adam Page. Adam versus Adam. It is Hangman Page versus Adam Cole, and this rivalry has been heating up. This is dose for these two guys, and they
I'm scared, bro. I'm scared.
I am scared too. I will say though, their segment in this match, in this Ring of Dynamite, really captivated me and made me think. Adam Page is looking at Adam Cole like, "What the fuck you want? I already beat your ass. I have nothing to prove to you. You are. I already beat your ass." And when he looked at him square in his face and talking to him and telling him all this shit, I was like, "This is the cowboy. This is somebody who knows his worth. This is somebody who understands. This is not the cowboy who is not self-confident anymore. This is the cowboy who knows who he beat Kenny Omega, who he beat Bryan Danielson, and who was also have demolished Adam Cole. There is nothing left for this man to prove. He's done it all in this business. Well, in this case, in the main event scene. Yeah. So he is. I agree with Pat. Pat said it beautifully. Adam Cole is determined as fuck, and I can't wait for this match.
I agree. Eventually, Adam Cole will be champion. He'll be champion. However, just right now, it's just like, dude, get in the back of the line right now. You take your L, get in the back of the line. Don't get me wrong. I'm excited to see this match.
Yeah.
And my question, I think I posed to the podcast. Do you think it's personally, I think it's too early for Hangman to lose his title, but will him losing this title elevate this story? Actually, will it drive the story further?
That's a good question. I don't see him losing, but I do see Adam Cole losing. And again, we'll be hopefully exclusive tickets. The weekly replay will be live on AEW Rampage at the Curtis Callaway Center here live in Dallas, Texas. So if you see us, if you see us out there, come say hi. But we will be there.
I think they're going to give it to Adam Cole.
You think so?
Yeah. Well, because my thing is this: like, do you want to legitimately have like superstars holding all the championships for like years on at a time? Like, no one would really be champion. I don't know. It depends on the booking and the matches and the quality of the reign, I think, versus the longevity of it. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, because Adam Cole, how old is Adam Cole? Like 30,
He's in his 30 in his
30
late
something?
30s. Yeah.
Right. He can't. I don't see him doing this for like 7 more years or so.
Yeah, I know
don't
what
know.
you mean.
I don't
Again,
know.
we'll see what happens. I don't know what's all going to happen, but it is a very interesting situation that's going to happen. But not only that, next week on AEW Dynamite, we have Minoru Suzuki versus Samoa Joe for the
My
Ring of
God.
Honor World Television Championship. Now that match alone is on a scale. It's a dream match for many. This
It
is
is.
going to be a phenomenal match. I cannot wait for this match next week on Dynamite. But so far, Dynamite is looking stacked next week with Minoru Suzuki versus Mojo, which I just mentioned, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus versus Red Dragon, Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland versus Ricky Starks and Power Hobbs. We have MJF versus Captain Sean Dean 2, and we have Eddie Kingston, Santana Ortiz versus Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, and Daniel Garcia. It is looking packed. It is looking stacked. It is looking stacked. So I cannot wait for next week's AEW. And again, we will try, and I'm crossing my fingers, we will try to be at AEW Rampage next week, and hopefully we can get there on time. But
yeah, tell us what you guys think, actually, because I mean, we put a little vote in the chat and a little poll in the chat. Like, who do you think is going to come out on top as your new AEW champ? Will Adam Cole come out as your new AEW champ or not? Depends, actually. It's going to be juicy as fun.
We'll see what happens. All right, let's go on to the next.